All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson, and today we're going to do a follow-up on the Cheslie Kryst death, or suicide as it's been ruled officially. We're going to talk about everything. It's in the wheelhouse of mental health. She committed suicide, and all over social media, people have their opinions, per usual. I'm going to talk about it merely from the mental health side. There's plenty of people out there that are doing what the internet does, which is make wild speculations and insensitive claims about people. It came out that there was a letter left by Cheslie in her apartment, and it pretty much was pretty dry. It just said, I want all my stuff to go to my mom. And because of that, people automatically start implying or trying to infer, but not boldly enough that they could get themselves in legal trouble, that her mom might have had something to do with it. Look, man. People that do stuff like that make videos, especially I've seen them. I've seen the thumbnails that it looks like someone's taking a video of someone jumping off a building in New York City. Guys, that's so messed up. That's so messed up. Like, I've even talked to family members and been like, and tried to like brain hash it out, try to figure out if that video did exist, which I don't believe there's a real one. What are the chances that someone would have been filming at that time and would have known that that was her and filmed it? And who would film that? Who would film that to begin with? And then if you were so insensitive enough to feel like, oh, look, this is happening, let me film it. Why would you then post it? Why would you post it? Like, my God, people. This is the same thing I said when, kids pull their phones out during school shootings, and that's the first thing they want to do is record it. It's like, do we have no humanity left? I'm not saying you could help her. I'm not saying you can. But you could at least just not want to make yourself trending off of it. Come on, dude. So let's talk about the real issue at hand here. So now, in hindsight, everyone's gathering all these clips. She spoke to Gabrielle Union, Cheslie did, on an extra segment that they did where she was talking to celebs about their mental health, and many of them shared with her their struggles and their suicidal thoughts and how they overcame them during the quarantine. And I truly believe, whatever your personal opinions are about people like Gabrielle Union and D. Wade and all that, anybody who's willing to talk about their struggles, kudos. Kudos for the advocacy. Whatever else they do in their life, you got to judge that separately. But if you're willing to talk about struggles you face and there's people that connect to it, I think you're doing a good thing just in that. So it's very clear she being Cheslie, was passionate about mental health. And she talked about it, just in the few clips that I pulled up, there were very clear signs that she struggled. And there was a thing that was released, in the wake of her passing, that it said her mental health was struggling even worse as she turned 30 because she felt an immense pressure to matter in the societal eye. How many of us can connect to that? I'll be 30 in 2 weeks, a week and a half. And I think it was a huge part of my relapse back in July that, like I said in the last episode, led to me heading towards a bridge, ready to jump off. I don't know what it is. I know many other people in my life that around the same age went through catastrophic type mental challenges. I don't like to call them mental breakdowns because it's not a breakdown, man. It's dealing with your life as it is. And sometimes you have to look at your life and look at it its entirety and go, oh my God, I want all these things. I saw myself doing all these things, accomplishing all these things, being this important to this many people, and my message having all these effects and all these dreams that never came true, or maybe I feel like now they won't come true because, my time has passed. All these very odd, self-deprecating, depressing thoughts start to come up when you cross this age barrier of becoming 30 years old. And I don't know why. It's weird how the mind will focus on it, but I can tell you, for the people that do want to play skeptic and they want to say, well, that note was awful dry. That for a suicide note, that was awful dry. People get used to, long drawn outs. Hey, I love everyone. This wasn't because of you and all this. It's like, guys, you forget this was a person in mental distress. So they may not be completely in touch with their feelings. They may not be completely in tune with who they really are and what they really want in their life. So the only thing on their brain might just be, hey, I want to make sure this person's taken care of. Boom. Like I said in my first video talking about Cheslie's suicide was, again, I thought of all the things on the way to the bridge that I had to live for. I have a wife. I have kids. I have this. And, while some may see that as, well, like, dude, you don't have that much, it was enough for me to stop in the moment and go, what am I, maybe just a couple more minutes if I think about this. And that was enough time for help to get to me. So, and again, I had people in my life that knew the distress I was going through, knew that I was detaching myself from the help and the support that I had, and they luckily followed me indirectly and made sure that I was safe at all times and had at least resources that they got to me to keep me from doing something terrible. I can't imagine what it's like for people that moved to Cheslie was from North Carolina. I can't imagine what it would be like to come from North Carolina, move to New York City, try to become all this. You reach huge levels of success. You're a lawyer. You're doing all these things. You're, a broadcaster on the Extra Network. You're Miss USA 2019. You were runner-up in Miss Universe. But then you reach the pinnacle of all that, and you go, and I'm still not fulfilled. So then you have to struggle with the human condition. You go, well, I'm 30 years old. I've accomplished all these things. Seemingly everyone should be happy if they achieved what I achieved, and yet I'm not happy. So therefore, there must be something actually wrong with me. Maybe I'll never be happy. Maybe because I'll never be happy because I always want more, maybe I don't deserve to be happy. Maybe I'm a bad person. Maybe I don't even deserve what I already have, and maybe people know that. Maybe that's why I never got what I thought I should achieve, or maybe that's why I haven't gotten it yet. And you see how easy it is to start this self-depreciating, lowering your worth, snowballing into this depressive thing that very quickly, if we're being real, can go, why am I even here? What am I still doing here? Wouldn't it be easier for me to just check out? And everyone likes to use the word check out because it's easier to digest. But you have the thought, isn't it easier if I just kill myself? Isn't that easier than facing down life as I see it now? Because I don't know that it's going to get better. I know if I jump off a bridge, I don't have to deal with it. Or if I climb to my balcony 60 floors up and jump, I know that jump is the last decision I ever have to face. Getting up on top of the balcony or on top of the bridge railing, that's the last hurdle I face in life. I know that much. Understand its hopelessness, its helplessness, its despair. It's a feeling of loneliness. It's a feeling of life is winning. And I don't feel like I have a team to support me because there's 7 billion people out there in the world, and it feels like every one of them, including all the matter that's around me, is against me and is working against me. Now, we could judge people and go, oh, dude, you're so in your feelings. Look at you. You're just, goddamn, you worry so much about what other people think and da. And we can cast all this judgment and we can discredit the way people feel. And we can do that, right? We can do that. And we can keep reading headlines about people jumping off buildings and overdosing. And there was the actor, Michael Williams, that just passed away. I believe that was his name. He played a famous gay drug dealer on a show. I don't remember what the show was. But yeah, died this past week, or during this week, of fentanyl cocaine mixture overdose. And 4 men were arrested. They were known to be involved in this drug ring, drug trafficking, whatever. Dead. And everyone talked about what a bright soul this person was. Okay. So we got all these bright souls out here that you guys know are bright souls, and everyone, oh, it's so tragic, it's so tragic. I bet a lot of people had stuff to say when they found out he was on drugs. Because drug dealers aren't, not drug dealers, but drug users aren't real slick, right? Drug users, some of them can be, and, people can use drugs and drink to their own detriment, and most people won't notice sometimes, but most often, people around you know what you're doing. If you have any sort of circle, you've involved them in your drug use because you keep people around you that are going to help you facilitate that use. Coming from an addict, right? So again, we have people in entertainment reaching heights, chasing goals, so depressed that they have to shoot up heroin laced with fentanyl, or take cocaine laced with fentanyl, or take the long, slow walk to your balcony. Could it simply be that we are failing? As the human being, species, we are failing to take care of each other. Could it be that we're failing in a lot of ways by the ways that we've designed our systems to operate, and how we've designed our family structures to look, and how cool it is to call someone and tell them you love them, and how, necessary it is that you talk to the people you love every single day and keep things beyond surface level conversation. How's everything going? Yeah, is that snowstorm hitting you guys? Oh yeah, that's crazy. Did you guys get enough food? Okay, good. Yeah, work's crazy. Yeah, the kids are good. Like all that kind of shit. It's cool, right, to get you into a conversation. But then what happens is people share struggles with those they talk to, because sometimes you just can't keep it in anymore, and you go, look, man, this is going on, and you just spew all your shit out onto people, which is not a proper or healthy way to do that, because you don't know if they're ready to carry what you're dishing out. But at the same time, if you do open yourself up and you do vent, which is what it comes off as a lot of the time, because you've held it in so long, it just comes out as word vomit and just, I don't know how else to get this out, because it's all passion and emotion and it's all been bottled up. Then it comes off and the person goes, oh, wow, there's you being you again. God, you got such a big heart and you care so much and you're so full of love. Gosh, it sucks that you hurt this way. I wish you didn't have to hurt this way. And it stops right there. Instead of talking to them further and going, not only do I see that you have a big heart, I appreciate that heart that you have. And I want you to know, as much as that situation is hurting you right now, I love you for who you are. Because if you weren't here, I wouldn't get to experience that passion and that fire that you have. See, it's easy to tell Cheslie Kryst how much we appreciate her light in her soul now that she's gone. And I don't know what her text message inbox looked like, and I don't know what her DM inbox looked like, but apparently there wasn't enough people in there telling her how much they appreciated that light and that soul while she was here. Because if there was enough messages in that inbox, I don't think we'd be having this conversation right now. So what happened? We got caught up in life. I say we because I'm involved in the human experience. We get caught up in life. we let people escape our mind and our focus. And while they may be a thought in passing that we appreciate them and we're grateful for them, or we're grateful for times that we shared, we don't do anything with that. We're on to the next one because we're so afraid of missing out on whatever might be to come. We can't take 2 seconds to show appreciation for something that was. Someone that loves, someone that has passion, that has fire, we can't show that. Why? We're weak? Why? Like, come on. Look at what's happening. We have people dying every single day because they feel unloved. They feel like they don't matter. And I'm not saying that every single one of us is meant to be spiritual leaders or revolutionaries, but every person matters. Every person is here for the same reason, and that's to find out what that reason is. And any time one of us cuts that time short because simply we felt enough that we were completely useless to the collective, I don't see how we see that as this person was troubled and not, which obviously there's troubles there, but this is happening more and more. So when do you kind of like, if a person is in a relationship or multiple relationships for 10 years, they go through 10 different relationships in 10 years and they go, wow, relationships suck. Relationships are terrible. And they go, are they? Or are you just bad at them? So again, if we keep having people commit suicide and overdose and do all these things, and we notice now everyone's willing to talk about that, or at least be honest with, we acknowledge everyone has their struggles. So then let's stop putting up this veil that everything's perfect and everything needs to be hunky-dory all the time. Let's be real with each other. Let's talk real. Let's talk about the shit that sucks. Let's tell each other when we love each other. Let's tell each other when we miss each other. Let's tell each other how much we appreciate one another, and support the things that make you feel good. Stop supporting things that feed the negative sides of yourself and the dark sides of yourself. If it doesn't lift you up, if it's not making you or someone around you better, I ask genuinely, why are you involving yourself in it? Is it just fun, right? Is it like getting on a roller coaster or going to a horror house or a scary movie or whatever? Whatever you call them things, haunted houses, where you just want the, oh shit, what was that? Like, okay, fine. But realize like all that shit and be like, that all becomes a part of who you are. And that seeps real deep into your brain. And sometimes you don't always get the say in how deep the, control goes when things get in. And the more stuff we let in, I feel like the more attention we put on random shit that doesn't matter, the more we disconnect ourselves from the things that truly do matter, which is the people around us. And the way that we make other people feel. There's nothing more important in this life than that. And Cheslie's life, I hope, is going to, her light as a soul was so bright. I think this is going to be a real candle for change. I think that light is going to continue to burn, and I think she's going to leave a lasting legacy for mental health and for mental health advocacy. And guys, please, if you're thinking about harming yourself, harming someone else, if you're having thoughts that are just getting out of control, please, guys, I'm going to put the number right here. Please call someone. Please call someone and get help. If you don't want to talk to a hotline, if you don't, you're not comfortable with that, please call someone you are comfortable with talking to. I understand. Sometimes imagining opening yourself up to someone is like, that's not going to happen. So that's where hotlines are helpful, because then you can call that hotline. That person doesn't know you. You don't know them. You'll probably never see them ever. So whatever is said stays there, right? Now you talk to someone you care about and you trust, and they have some hindsight into your situation. Well, maybe they'll be able to help you, right? Please don't think that nobody cares, because I care. People on the hotlines care. People on social media care. There are people out there that care. You just have to find the right communities and engage yourself in those. And please know I love you so much, and we'll see you next week.